Right, Stevie, with a nice new turf truck in the background. We start off with Chainsaw and Tasty Jack in the first of the afternoon.
Chainsaw, he's had two disappointing runs. We are looking to gold him, but we've slapped the blinkers on and we just want to see if that can get him to concentrate a bit. If not, he'll probably be golded next week. But yeah, let's see if the blinkers can do the trick. It has put his mind more on the job at track, so there can be some improvement there, maybe into the lower end of the places.
Your stable companion, Tasty Jack?
He's a nice sort, first time out, so he's an educational run. I can also expect, you know, he's not the type that I don't think will go out and win or do anything special like that, but he's a nice sort, so he can also maybe pop into a place.
Geoff, as always, thanks for your time. The second of the afternoon sees the rising legend return to the track after a somewhat disappointing performance last time out by his talented standards.
Yeah, it was. I must say, Andy, I was very disappointed. But it was a very, very hot, sticky, you know, that horrible humid day that you can sometimes get at the Vaal. And even when I saddled him, I wasn't happy. You know, he felt clammy, he didn't feel like himself. And it was kind of a lackluster sort of a run. You know, it didn't really go for him in the race, but even so, it was a disappointing run. And I know he's better than that. This looks like it's going to be a pretty small field. I see a couple of carded for tonight. So we may even be down to 6 runners, I don't know. But I think he's very effective on the inside track. Just got to go for him. He's been mildly disappointing to me in the hot weather, so I think it's just one of those afternoons you just got to look and see how he is. And you know, if his coat is good, then he'll probably run well. He's that type of a guy. His work's been very, very good at home. And you know, on his best, given his best effort, I think he could just about win it.
Mathew, the Dazzler has been a revelation since the throat surgery. He really has been a model of consistency. Probably a little unlucky last time out.
Yeah, things didn't really go the way we thought it would last time. But Gavin back on top, who knows the horse extremely well. I'm sure he's going to put up a good effort again.
Lovely. Then you've got to wait a race before REDBERRY WOOD lines up, and we know that she's very talented as well.
She is, and it's kind of, we've discussed, you know, for quite a long time now, does she stay or what does she actually want? Barford Wood out of a Western Winter mare, and I feel that the way she's running, you know, it looks like she could go all day. Well, we'll see. You know, 2.6, it's a little bit of an extreme, but she's been running well over 2,000. It just looks like a race that may be devoid of pace. I don't know. Small field again. I don't know if anything is really going to go. If it does, it'll only be, you know, probably 3/4 pace. But anyway, we'll test it out and see how she goes. But looks-wise and work-wise, really top of her game. So, you know, between her and Sunshine Silk, who's got top weight there, I think we've got a shout in the race for sure. You know, Sunshine Silk's been also, I won't say she's been unlucky, but slightly disappointing, seconds and thirds, you know, pretty consistently. She's also due her day, and her work's been very good as well.
Silver Thursday, we know she's very talented. Not quite sure how to read her, but she looks like she should be ready now.
Yeah, been very disappointing, especially the last run. The 2 runs before that were not too bad, considering that she was very overweight. So the last one was a little disappointing. Anyway, we've put the blinkers on her. She obviously hasn't been trying her best, so hopefully the blinkers can bring out the best in her. It looks like a race where if she can put her best foot forward, she can win. So, you know, I think you've got to include her in everything.
You start off with a very imposing, talented horse called ORPHEUS in race 5.
Andrew, yeah, Orpheus, he's doing really well at home. Since his last run, he's strengthened up quite a lot, and we're happy with his work. I think Mr. Terry's horse, Warriors Rest, probably the biggest threat for us in the race. You know, the 1800 with a good draw inside track, we do think would suit Orpheus, but Warriors Rest has been running consistently well and holds good form lines, so he's probably a danger in the race, but we think that Orpheus will be very competitive.
Lovely, and as is the case in race 4, you have 2 representing you in race 6, and they are Top Rank and Trip to Troy.
Yeah, Top Rank, a little bit disappointing last time. Just pulled up a little bit of a high suspensory. Gav said he felt something slightly amiss with him. Anyway, that's been sorted, and he's lovely and sound now. Good draw. I think he's a lively runner. You know, the inside track should suit him well. He can turn it on, and he's quite a talented little guy on his day. So I will give him an obvious shout. Trip to Troy, you know, he's up in class here. His last run was very good. He ran third after quite a break, and he looks equally well. 1800 might be the top of his range. I don't know. I think it is, but him too. He's fit and he's well. Probably one to throw into trifectas, quartets, whatever.
Lovely. Then we move on to the 6th, where you've got Roman Flight and Diego de Gavea.
Yeah, this is a strong field. For us, we do think that the horse runs his best runs mile up the straight at the Vaal, but you know, they don't earn any money standing in the box, so we're trying him over further 1800 on the inside track, and we more or less just want to see how he goes, but it's a very strong field, and you know, be happy if he ran into the money.
Cumberland's been quite reliable when expected to perform. What are you expecting this time in race 6?
Yeah, he can run hot and cold. When he's hot, and when he's cold, he's cold. He's in a 1800 for the first time, so that's a bit of an experimental run. So it's yeah, that's what it is. It's an experimental run. He's very fit. He's well. I have put in a bit of extra work to go the 18. So let's see what happens.
Excellent. Then a pair represent you once again in the 7th. One of my favourite horses in the yard in Polar Ice, and also a horse not exactly short of talent in Who's the Boss Now.
Yeah, I'll start with Polar Ice. I must say I was so surprised. I was pleasantly surprised that he could come back and win after such a long layoff, and be in such a strong field. I gather the favourite needed the run that day, but it was still a very good win. He found a bit of trouble too. Gav came up the outside and he went down the inside and found a bit of trouble. But having said that, it was a strong race and a really good win. I think 1600 right up his alley. Inside track, he's won there. And he does seem to be doing equally as well now as what he was then when he ran. And Who's the Boss Now? Yeah, I've been disappointed with him over a bit of ground, and brought him back in distance to a mile. I think Captain Al, he's probably at his best around a mile. Just like to see a little bit more resolution from him in the finish. A couple of times he's looked like he's coming to win his race and just kind of stayed on, run 3rd or 4th, and it's not really good enough. I know he's much better than that, and hopefully that ability we'll see on Saturday. I do think he'll run well. I want to see him put it together though.
Arlington's Revenge from Hannah Runnels, getting him into the winner's enclosure. He was very gutsy last time out.
Yeah, he won a good race. I think he's a really honest horse, and he's got a good draw, so I expect him to be in the play again.
Super. And then on to the 8th race. Is there hope for Joanna?
There is in the future. I think that Saturday she'll need the run. She normally takes a run or two to get fit, and she's an honest filly, so I think she's a filly that you can watch next couple starts.
Super. Then Muzi Yeni climbs aboard, Return to Power in the 8th.
Yeah, this filly's been a little bit disappointing of late. She was holding good form. She had some niggles and we had to put her out for a while, and she just hasn't seemed to come back to herself. But if she has to come back to her best, she'd be competitive in a field like this.
And then finally, Gavin Lerena is doing duty on Amanika.
Yeah, we are really happy with Amanika's last run. Just nice and soft coming back after a rest, and she was running on really strongly. If she overcomes the wide draw on Saturday, I think that she could be a runner.
And then a little bit of a wait for the last race of the afternoon, where No Man's Land represents you in the 10th.
Yeah, well, as his name suggests, that's where he's drawn. And I've never known a horse get such bad draws. Once again, I complain about that computer down in Durban. Somebody's going to blow it up for sure, because it's not just me that thinks that. But anyway, I think we're jumping from it's a double-digit draw. I don't know where we are with the final field, but it's difficult. 1450 inside track, drawn wide. You just got to ride for luck. So his work has been superb, and if you actually look closely in the computer form, he found trouble his last start and still managed to put in the fastest last 400. He's very talented, but he's just been given no opportunity.